Hello and welcome to a review of the Kill Team Rules 101. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button and smash the bell button too. So, it says Kill Team Rules 101. This was posted on the 14th of the 7th and today is the 18th of July. So this is 4 days later, but I think it's relevant. Over the past week, we're exploring various factions that will be battling it out in the new edition of Kill Team. But how does the game itself work? In this article, we'll look at under the hood of the core mechanics of the game. So this picture was thingied in the first little review, so it didn't really give anything away apart from just saying tactics. That's all it really gives away. Kill Team rule set shares a lot of DNA with its big brother Warhammer 40,000. Both are looking at combat in the 41st millennium and share a lot of core systems and general principles. With differences emerging in scale, Warhammer 40,000 is about grand plans, sweeping manoeuvres and the clash of massive armies, while the Kill Team is about moment-to-moment action. Nope, I did not mean to do that. Sorry about that. Put simply, in Warhammer 40,000, you're a general commanding your army from on high, while in Kill Team, you're a sergeant issuing orders to each member of your squad, trying to outmaneuver your rival. Kill Team 101. Kill Team is fast. A game of Kill Team lasts half an hour to 40 minutes, making it easy to squeeze into a lunch break or get several games in across an evening. Kill Team is reactive. In Kill Team, alternating activations for shooting and combat mean that you'll have to be on the ball in every moment of the game, and you won't have long to wait until it's your turn either. Kill Team is tactical. There are loads of tactical depth in Kill Team, with only a handful of models. Every casualty hurts, and every decision matters. The units. Every unit in Kill Team has a stat line and data sheet with characteristics, keywords and special abilities just like Warhammer 40,000. Let's take a look at the Primaris Intercessor to demonstrate. See if it will let me bring it up. So it did, but it made it worse. That wasn't helpful at all. I'll zoom out and get off that. Have a quick look. 3+3+ toughness 4, toughness, strength 4, with 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 3+ save, max. I assume this means maximum you can have in your team. Usual national fear. Then is transhuman physiology. Ignore the penalty to this model's hit rolls on one flesh wound it has suffered. Standard auxiliary grenade launcher, blah 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 blah. What is that on? Number 4. Okay. So there's not much difference. There is a difference, but there isn't much difference. Let's say there's another thingy for stats, for max models you probably have, and transhuman physiology. Basically some other separate rules, specialists. Okay, so there is a couple of things, but it's not massively different. So we won't go over all that, because we already know how keywords and all the rest work. For the sake of speed, movement in Kill Team is handled on an I go, you go basis. After rolling off at the top of the turn, players take it into turns to move all their models. So far, not unlike Warhammer 40,000. There's more, however. In the movement phase, you'll also get to charge. Even if you fail, you get to move the full charge distance you roll, as long as you move towards the model you were charging in the first place. This adds an element of risk and reward. While you won't get to move and charge, you will get to lock the foe in combat before they've had a chance to shoot at you. Rather than moving, you can opt to ready units in the movement phase. Doing so lets you shoot with them first in the coming shooting phase. Likewise, if you charge in the movement phase, you get a priority of combat phase. As such, what you do in the movement phase affects the rest of your turn significantly. Playing well will revolve around knowing when to ready, move or charge with your models. Movement also features loads of interesting and detailed interactions with cover and terrain, Difficult terrain can slow your movement, short gaps can be leapt over, and kill zones add all sorts of unusual terrain effects. So what I'll say in this regard is, so the charging in combat, in movement phase, is a lot like the Shadow Wars Armageddon, that's what you did it in the movement phase, and you also could, when it says ready, you could have them on Overwatch, which was basically getting them ready. If anyone got into their 90-degree shooting arc, you could shoot them. Shooting and combat. In Kill Team, shooting and combat phases are tense, reactive affair where players take it in turns to choose individual models to attack with. Shooting in Kill Team is much riskier endeavour than in Warhammer 40,000. If you're looking to do some real damage, you're going to have to stay mobile and try to flank your foes. Shots taken from long range, that's more than half the weapon's maximum range, take a -1 penalty to hit, as do shots against targets that are obscured. A model obscured, if any part of it is blocked by cover, we'll let one Skitarii from the start set demonstrate. So obviously, we'll have a look at that in a second, but again, there was a lot, I feel like they've done it as, so in Shadow Wars Armageddon you had a long range and a short range, and you might have a minus to hit if it's long range, or +1 to hit if it's long range, like sniper rifles. However, what they've done is they've gone, if it's over half the range, probably there'll be exceptions, much like snipers. Basically, they've made it even simpler. That's basically it. There's a Skitarii. It says, Bzzzt. I'm currently obscured. Shooting at me would be most inefficient. I'm not obscured. Shoot at me at your leisure. Okay. Thanks, Skitarii. In practice, this means that it's usually pretty hard to hit people, and so playing a shooting kill team will mean playing a mobile, responsive game as much as a melee focused kill team will, basically meaning you should have to move forward if you want to get any good shots in. Worry not, orcs. An unmodified hit of 6 will always hit, regardless of colour, stealth fields, camo cloaks, or what have you. You'll be able to solve any deficiencies or inaccuracy with maximum DACA, or just banners. Death, and close encounters with death. In Kill Team, death is not the end. In wide-ranging top-down world of Warhammer 40,000, a battlefield casualty can represent anything from crippling injury to being turned into a fine vapour by a volcano cannon. In the ground-level skirmishes of Kill Team, injuries have a bit more granularity and are broken down into non-lethal flesh wounds and models being taken out of action. So a lot like Shadow was then, really. Here's how it works. When you attack, you'll roll to hit, to wound, and to save as much as you would in Warhammer 40,000. If you remove a model's last wound, well, that's where things get tense. Rather than removing the model, the controlling player makes an injury roll. On a 3 or less, you've suffered a flesh wound and keep fighting. On a 4+, you're out of action. So it's quite similar, except for, I think it was a 6 to be out of action, unless you was hit by a high strength weapon, 7 or more, I believe. And a 1 or a 2, on a 1 you had a flesh wound, and on a 3 to 5, I think it was down, which meant you had to take a test the next turn. Sorry about that again. If your target is obscured, you must subtract 1 from the roll. Well, if they're already injured, you can add 1 flesh wound for every flesh wound they've suffered. Attacks with damage characteristics of 1 will cause, greater than 1, will cause multiple injuries. After all, getting hit by a las cannon stings a lot more than being shot with a stubber. Flesh wounds themselves further reduce the model's hit roll, so again, a lot like Shadow Wars, which is shaping up to be pretty cool. Good at aiming. If you are trying to shrug off bolter rounds, as well as potentially causing them to become shaken in the morale phase, speaking of which, morale. Morale in Kill Team is one of the tensest phases in the game. Play your cards right, and you'll can use morale to defeat an enemy without ever having to directly battle their most deadly fighters. Fail to prepare, and you could end up with your own team unable to act as they become riven with fear. There's some change tailors. Morale is split into 2 components, good gosh, representing the morale of the kill team as a whole and the individual bravery of each member of the squad. Lose more than half of your squad and there's a chance the kill team will become broken. Applying penalties to hit on all your models, while models with flesh wounds risk losing their nerve and become shaken, preventing them from acting for a whole turn. When building your kill team, you'll want to make sure you grab the as high leadership model to help insulate your kill team against morale, as well as some support specialists like medics and comms. After all, having a killer kill team isn't worth much when they're all in a panic. And more. We've stopped by the studio and had a quick chat with Wade Price, who spends his days planning Warhammer 40,000 publications out of chaos and into reality, and how Kill Team came to be. That's a video. Obviously, we're not going to watch that. Thanks, Wade. You'll be able to pre-order your copy on the 21st of July. And that's the basics. Although there's plenty more to discover, like tactics and scouting phase. That's new. Kill zones, special missions, and we dare say more expansions down the line. If you're looking for how your kill team will play specifically, please check the Faction Focus Index for more. So again, the scouting phase, I'm thinking that's pre-game, probably. Maybe deployment zone effectively. Maybe that's all it is. Who knows? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I will gladly read them, and I'll likely comment back and hopefully agree or disagree. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.